This conference will now be recorded.
Not too bad. You put the little one down to sleep?
Yeah, my wife's upstairs put him down. So if you hear some crying, he's been struggling to get down a little bit lately. So
So how old
sorry
is he?
about that. He's 16 months.
Oh wow, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
That is awesome. Well, I'll be quick about this. I definitely want to be conscious of your time. I
Oh, it's all
appreciate you
good.
taking the time. Um, and
For
so
sure.
just to, what's
I
that?
don't know how good I don't know how good of an interview I'll be. I feel like I've been super blessed with just I don't know if my financial background is what most student athletes are. I've been lucky to grow up around a household with some parents that were kind of helpful for me. So
But
I don't know if I'll
it's
be
all
too
helpful.
helpful.
It's all helpful, man.
Right.
Regardless of where you came from or how it all happened.
Yeah,
I think student athletes can certainly learn from everything, I guess is what
sure.
I definitely want to see happen. So I'm going to do my little quick intro here real quick um, because hopefully we got some student athletes watching this. What's up, everyone? My name is Pat Brown. I'm a financial advisor here in town with Edmonds Duncan Investment Advisors. Played football at the University of Kansas number of years back, 3-year starter, played outside linebacker, loved my time there. And one of the things I became very, very passionate about over time was working with student athletes and helping them with financial literacy. And I thought of doing a series of interviews with former student athletes in the hopes that current student athletes can look and see the success and the failures and hopefully learn from them and develop habits now while they're in college that will be very beneficial for them once they get out of college. So the first thing I want to, or a second thing I want to do is introduce Tyrel Reed. Did a little cyber stalking because I want to have something to read about you.
It's probably
So
not much out there.
what's that? So well, this is good stuff, man. Tyrel Reed, the winningest player in Kansas basketball history. How on earth do you do that? That's
Luck,
amazing. That,
luck.
that's some good luck. So collecting a record of 132 to 17 losses during his 4-year career, an academic All-American first team selection his senior year, and a 3-time academic All Big 12 first-time member, a regular on the rotation of the last 3 seasons when he played, and was a part of the NCAA championship, 2 NCAA Elite 8 and 3 NCAA Sweet 16s, 4 Big 12 regular season titles, and a Big 10 or Big 12 tourney championship while at KU. The other thing that I want to do real quick is also just give the definition of financial literacy. The reason being is because I think a lot of student athletes have this connotation of financial literacy and they think perhaps it means something as if, they're not necessarily intelligent or something like that. And so the definition of financial literacy is is a possession of a set of skills and knowledge that allows an individual to make informed and effective decisions with all of their financial resources. So having said all that, Tyrel, the first, I would say, freshman year, sophomore year, what were your thoughts on money, budgeting, saving, credit? I know you mentioned earlier that you're pretty very fortunate. Did you already have that mindset, or kind of dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate. My parents are both teachers. Both my mom's a middle school teacher and my dad was a high school teacher. So just coming from that background, they were always saving. Trying to save in case when we were going to go to college, and
Sure.
I was fortunate to be on scholarship to not have to pay for my college until I went to grad school. But I was just blessed. I understood that, hey, you've got to save for the future.
Hmm.
Even when I was on scholarship, getting a scholarship check every month, I probably wasn't always the best with those, and probably bought too many shoes or things like that
There it
that don't
is.
really
There it is.
that don't really mean a lot at the time. But yeah, I was lucky to have parents that instilled in me that I need to save my money.
So what about credit? Did they talk to you about credit as well and help you understand what credit is and how to use it efficiently or don't use it or?
They did as well. another thing, my dad taught like a finance class in high
That's
school.
awesome.
So I've always kind of had an interest in that, and I still do, and I wish I knew more about investing. And I'm trying to always continue to learn more and more there. But I did understand, I had a credit card and would use it occasionally, and
Hmm.
just try to do my best to never have a payment on it if I didn't have to.
Right, right. Makes sense. Makes sense. So the next question I had was, how did you come to your decisions you made about money while you're in college? And I know you literally just kind of touched on it as well. So I can't imagine you did a lot of trial and error because you already had that foundation
Mhm.
initially coming in. Would that more or less be accurate?
Yeah, it was, but I never really had a steady, like I guess you could say, paycheck when I was in high school. But being a
Hmm.
college athlete, it's not like we're getting necessarily paid, but we do
Right.
get some money each month for living expenses. And you had to start to understand the value of the dollar and like where your money's going. And you can see if you're eating fast food and buying
Yeah.
shoes that you're like, at the end of the month, you're like, where'd that all go? So.
Okay. Okay. And so, some of your decisions that you made, what were some of the worst financial decisions, and what were some of the best ones you made while in school?
Um, I would say worse financial decisions were just the short-sighted things,
Mhm.
whether it's buying the newest video game, going out and buying the latest shoe release. We were already getting shoes, right? As a student
Right.
athlete, you're already, so what's having another pair? I mean, I guess it looks cool and you can show it off or wear it, but I think it's just being maybe a bit short-sighted with probably materialistic things.
Uh-huh.
And not always thinking about like what else you could be doing with your money to use it as a powerful tool.
Sure. What about the best decision? Would you say just kind of putting money away, or?
Yeah, I think so. I understood that. I played professionally for 1 year overseas
Oh,
after I graduated, and but I didn't know, hey, was I going to be? Sometimes you don't ever know what's going to come when, as with professional sports. I didn't
sure.
know if I was going to make it a career for 10 years or if it was going to be, hey, I'm going to play a year and I don't know if I love it, or if I get injured and I have to have something to fall back on. So probably one of the smartest things I did was, we were able to work some basketball camps and things like that. And I tried to kind of sock away some money in a savings account at the time, just to have something to fall back on in case things didn't work out.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't know that. I missed it on my cyber stalking. Um,
It was just
um,
1 year, so 1 year in Europe. So
hey, that's still pretty good. That's better than most. Let's see here. I guess the other questions, it's kind of similar. What looking back at
mhm.
college now, what do you wish that you would have done different in regards to dealing with your money? And I know you mentioned kind of socking maybe more away, or just
Yeah,
maybe not about it.
right. I think just um, I think probably when you're younger, you're definitely not thinking about investing your money,
Hmm.
just because you probably don't have a lot of it. But I wish I probably would have set up some type of an investment account and just put $50 away or $100 away, even though it's not a lot of money, but with
It
compound
adds up.
interest, it'll be a lot when I'm 65 years old, I hope.
Yeah, yeah, no, no doubt, no doubt. Um, the habits that you formed in college, how have those affected you after college? And again, with you, it's a little bit different because you did have that foundation. But did you develop any other habits while in college, better or worse, that kind of affected you or benefited you once you graduated?
One of the best things, I didn't really do a lot of it in college. I did some of it. My dad
Mhm.
kind of helped me out, was just kind of starting a budget, so I kind of know where my money is going.
Yes.
Whether it be you know uh, some extra money, to do some fun things, but also like, hey, you've got rent this month. You've got how are you going to fill up your car with gas if you don't have any money?
Right,
So I think
right.
I think I think that was one of the first things that I kind of did. It wasn't when I was a freshman by any means. I was making a lot dumber decisions back then. You're in college, you got all this freedom. But by the
Yep.
time I was a senior, I was like, oh shoot, like I'm either going to play professionally for a while or I got to go to school. And KU's not going to pay for that. So
Yeah. That's true.
that was probably one of the smarter things that I did, was just kind of understand where my money was going.
Excellent. Excellent. And so then the last question, what were some of the pitfalls that you would hope your story could prevent to younger student athletes as they watch this and they see you talking?
I think the biggest thing would be, you don't have to go have the shiniest new thing. I feel like as a society and as an athlete, we always want to,
Yep.
have the flashiest or the nicest or the newest. But those things are just fleeting and they don't last. Because as soon as I got a new pair of shoes, guess what? There was another release the next day, and I wanted those too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
eventually, I think just that was my biggest thing, is just trying. And I still have to work on that to this day. Just you don't try not to look at somebody else and how they're doing, but just
You and
look
me
at
both.
yourself. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you see somebody else making a lot more money or driving a nicer car, having a nicer house, but just being grateful for what you have. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Good. Good. And so, like I said, with you going and playing in Europe for a year, how
Mhm.
was that as far as from a financial standpoint? Was it obviously you had to definitely focus and kind of knuckle down as far as budgeting then, or how did that work out? Or
That was a big thing for me, because my wife was also with me. My wife, we both went to graduate school for 3 years extra after college.
Mhm.
So it was just, hey, I don't know how this basketball thing's going to work out. I better like try to save, because grad school is not going to be cheap. And just trying to avoid, student loans and whatnot like that. But
Mhm.
uh, the nice thing about being an athlete was over there was we didn't have a lot of expenses. They paid for my housing, and they gave
Oh.
me a car. They gave me a car to drive. So I was very fortunate from that aspect.
Mhm.
But I was just kind of trying to. I was very blessed, and I had my parents, and just seeing other people that said you need to put money away, because guess what, that basketball is going to stop bouncing one of these days.
So you listen. I think that's the main thing with you. You actually listen to other people that were telling you good information, which is that's like half the battle right there, man.
I don't know. Again, I was super blessed with parents that were, financially understanding. My dad, taught a finance class, and um, but I feel like was in a different mindset, and I think that's what it's all about. It's just having that mindset of, like you said, just listening and trying to become educated about what money is, and how it can be a blessing or it can be a curse with how you use it.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And so then, last but not least, tell
Mhm.
everybody what you're doing now. So you've gone through school, graduate school, played a year.
Yeah.
What's going on, Tyrel?
Yeah, I went to graduate school, and I got my doctorate in physical therapy. So I'm a physical therapist, and I work in Lawrence. I do outpatient kind of sports physical therapy. I work um, with all different types of injuries, and I do part of my work. I do at KU now, so I'm back in the
Oh,
training room, working on guys like you and me that used to get banged
yeah,
up playing sports. And I think it's just I love it, because it's a way that I can stay around sports. I can stay connected
yeah.
to young athletes, and hopefully be somewhat of a decent influence on them, not only personally, but also just in their health and well-being.
You've always been a class act, man. You don't have that far to go.
I don't know. We've all got room to grow. I don't have it figured out. There's every day I'm like, man, I'm always learning something. So I guess try to be a lifelong learner too.
There you go. There you go. Well, man, that was it. Hopefully it wasn't too painful. Like I said, I
No,
appreciate
not
your
at
time.
all. Not at all. I think it's great what you're doing. I love it that people can just become more educated, and maybe avoid the pitfalls that that plague a lot of athletes. And I think some of it is there's just not a lot of education out there.
Exactly.
That'd be one of my yeah, there's calculus and yeah, there's all these things, but why don't we have a personal finance class in high school or middle school?
I can agree with you more. I think it should be mandatory, high
Hmm.
school and college. I think that, guys can get so much from it. Of course, that few that are fortunate to go to the league, whether basketball, football, or whatever it is. I
Hmm.
mean, some of those guys know that that's probably the route that they're going to go. I think this would be
Of
a very,
course,
very beneficial class. So hopefully
a
one day,
hundred
man.
percent. Yeah, keep pushing. That's all we gotta. That's all you gotta keep doing. I'm glad there's people like you that are just looking out for the well-being of our up and coming athletes. So appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'll let you get back and good talking to you. I'm sure I'll see you around once this Corona thing is done.
Yes, please. I'm hoping we can get past this, and yeah, look forward to seeing you.
All right, cool. Rock
All
Chalk.
right, Rock Chalk.
Yep.
Have a great one.
You too. Bye bye.